Welcome again, ladies and gentlemen. It's another day with your boy, Dr. Roy, and I just try to speak things from time to time in different settings. And today I came to tell you some stories, and I'm not going to take much of your time, so don't be in a hurry to leave. Make sure that you always look at our bios and try to check on things and see the possibilities of liking them, sharing them, and also inviting others to watch. I don't talk based on what I see. I talk based on stories that comes to me. And the story I want to talk about now is a story of love, a story of hatred, a story of bitterness, a story of anger, and a story of regrets all put together in one. So I don't know which one you want to listen first, but it's a story, and I want us to pick reasons from inside. There is this particular person who called me a day and told me, Doc, I am really hurting. Then I asked, why? She told me, I came to this situation with my partner and ended up pushing him away. I never knew, I did not appreciate the way, I never knew I was pushing him away because I would speak to him just anyhow. And I will push him to the wall. And I'll think that because he is a man, he will just make things happen easily, and not knowing that I was killing him inside. But first of all, why is it that most men do not have opportunities to talk about their pains? Why is it that they always look as though they are very strong? Meanwhile, they are dying inside. That's a question I am asking. It's not part of the story. Most men have been structured to not to talk about their pain. It's a shame for them to open up to you and tell you, this is what I am going through. I do counsel a lot of men. I do talk to a lot of men from time to time. And when I do, most of them, they burst out in tears. And when they cry heavy. They cry so bitterly because they have been hurting for quite too long, and there is nobody they could talk to. Nobody was there to listen to them. Whenever they want to bring up something, their partners ends up defending herself, ends up using the fact that the society has made her higher than the man to ruin his speech, to ruin his openness. Sometimes they'll pretend, ladies will pretend as though they are listening, but they end up not understanding that this man is hurting. A lady came to me and told me about a guy she has lost. And the reason, she wants everything to bring this guy back to her. And she's willing to pay anything. She knows the guy loves her, but the guy she cannot be able to convince him to go into a relationship again with her. Then when she spoke, she said, the guy has been good to her. Then I said, well, if the guy is good to you, she said, no, the guy still sends help. If she's in need, she calls the guy. No matter they are no more together, the guy will still send help. The guy would not want to hear that this problem is happening. So when this lady told me this thing, I said, okay, if the guy still responds to you, why don't you call this guy so that we discuss with him? So the first day she came to the office, we started talking, and she came along with the guy, and the guy didn't open up. Then I booked another appointment with the guy, and I said, okay, why don't you come alone so that we can share our minds? The day this guy came, what he told me, I remember sharing a tear. I remember my own experiences. And I remember some things that had happened in the past. that has affected a lot of people around me. So I asked this guy, how and why did you let it last this long? Then he said, there was nobody to talk to. When I go for counseling, they will always twist things to favor the woman. When I went for this, they will always say, I should call her so that we talk. And when I try to present my case, they will use it against me. I have been hurting for the past how many years? And these are the reasons why I am hurting. The guy ended up telling me his own story. We both cried. That is the good thing about how I do therapy with people. I cry along with you when it's needed. I laugh with you when it's needed. And I will always tell you the truth as it is supposed to be. Because I, being who I am, I have also seen the good, the bad, the ugly. And I thank God for having helped me. First of all, this guy was abused sexually at a particular point in time. He went for some counseling and he ended up becoming a better person. Looking at the situation that he went through, he never had a real role model to call, to look up to. So he had to be in the position where he promised and swore to himself to do all he needs to make sure things work. But he had never been appreciated. And even if he is to be appreciated, he will be looked down upon by the same person he's striving hard to take care of. This particular guy decided that, permit me just say this guy because I will not mention names and I will not call, or even if I'm supposed to call a name, I'll call a name that is not part of the story. But this guy, he did all he could do to make sure that he lived a better home and make sure he took care of every surrounding. But what happened? When this guy got his first child with this lady, he was happy. He says, my son, I will mentor you, I'll make you a man that I struggle to learn about myself. The second son, the third son, when all this, the three children came to board, because he had a daughter. This daughter was all he had. And he did the best to make sure she was fine, of which she still is fine. But now, the sons, this woman took him for granted. This woman insulted him so bad. But as life will have it, the son fell sick. He has been the father. He has played his role as a father to all his children until they were at good old age. And the son fell sick, only to discover that the son was never his son. He decided to do a DNA test. Then he understood that all the children he had were never his, except his daughter, who was not the seed of that marriage. Now, put yourself in these shoes. How do you advise this man who has lived all his life to know that the children he has so groomed to be men were never his? And the woman still used them to insult him. It brings us to an answer to a question. Why men die early in relationships? We have to work hard. We have to go out and hustle. We have to provide. We have to protect. We have to see the need of everybody. We go through stress. We go through pain. And sometimes we are still insulted. Sometimes we are never appreciated. Sometimes we are always looked down upon. At this point in time, can we try to see that we love and show love to our spouses? We make sure we honor them. I saw some designs, and some of these things I'm going to be posting online. The man carries the house on his head. There is a woman, there is a dog, there are children, there are foodstuff, and yet, with all the sweat and struggles that this man carry, he is not looked upon as anything. When this man is at old age, those children he helped, because of so much blackmail, end up not seeing what the father did. And all things are done for the mother. Ladies and gentlemen, I have chopped in different segments what I want to say. Because if I should go into it, we will go emotional. Let us value the position of our men. Let us encourage our men to open up so that they don't die early in their relationships. Let us encourage our men. I asked a question some time ago in one of my talks, and a lot of people asked me, Doc, why would you say that? Of what benefit is marriage to a man? Of what importance is marriage to a man? Most men will refuse to get into marriage, not because they don't want to be married, simply because they are afraid of divorce. They are afraid to start again at old age. So it's better they have baby mamas and take care of their children, of which even that is becoming insultive to them. A lot of things, I have seen a lot of stories, a lot of pain when I talk to people. And believe me, from a man's perspective, it takes grace to overcome some challenges. Another story came to me about a particular man. I know him. I never expected. This is one of the reasons why he separated with his wife. He said, Doc, I was not married to my wife. For all the years we were there, I slept with my wife. I can count the number of days, the number of time I slept with my wife. But every night, when we are on our matrimonial bed, I will see her grandmother come to the bedroom. It's not like I am sleeping. She'll appear in the bedroom and tap her lap 3 times. A penis will come out and she'll make love to her daughter. And the daughter always used that to insult me. And always, she does it better than you. Whenever I come in my lovemaking with her, when having sex with my partner, she will always get a reason for us to be angry for a long time. And we may not even see each other. I am a father of 2 boys. This is what the man told me. Say, but I don't know how many days I have slept with my wife. So I started putting some things in questions. I started asking the man questions. And the more I asked, the more I got shocked. Ladies and gentlemen, be careful of where you fellowship. Because this thing started from the church into their home. And they have been out of the relationship for over 10 years. His pain, his regrets were, why didn't I listen? Now somebody will tell you that, no, you need to go for deliverance, go to the church and let them. But what if this thing started from the church? The day he is told to, the day he goes to see his pastor or his wife's pastor, since they were from both two different denominations, since he was a so-called prophet, in front of his wife, he was made to sleep on the floor, and the prophet had to whip him. Now, what was the essence of that? They will not tell him. Now, should he go to court? These are some things that happen in this world. The man in his old age, in his good age, was flogged because he loved a woman, and the woman was daddy's daughter. And there's been nothing he has done that has been right. There is a lot of things I hear every day. But I want you to watch out. Report any kind of abuse, even from so-called men of God. Report it. And when it happens to men, people do not believe it because it is insultive and it is diminishing. It is dehuman. It affects a lot of people. We cry in silence and we cannot talk. I have a lot of things to tell you, but let me leave it here for today. Another day I will take my time and tell you some things that you will get to understand. Click on our page, like, share, subscribe. Find out what it takes to keep a man as a wife. Find out how to communicate with your partner, how to protect your man. Unfortunately, we, in our world of today, we think it's the man's role to just protect his family. No, but it's also the woman's role to protect her man. It's the woman's role to protect her husband. Make sure you go through all this and think, what happens? How do I meet up with all this? Ladies and gentlemen, thank you for listening. We are open to counsel you. Bring your stories. We are listening. Our ears are ready to listen and to share with you, advise you what to do. A lot of men are in pain, and a lot of men fear to commit. It's good to have you on the side today. God bless you.